Okay, so I think it's time we talk about Beelzebub, and I actually just want to get straight into it because I don't want to make this video too long because, I don't really want to. But apart from that, if you do like Record of Ragnarok, then I do suggest you leave a like and subscribe to the channel because I post quite a lot of Record of Ragnarok content on the channel. So if you like that stuff, then that's probably the best thing to do. But apart from that, let's just get into the video. Now, when talking about Beelzebub, I kind of want to go into the more mythology aspect of him. I feel like we've kind of already got a good idea of how he is in the actual series of Record of Ragnarok. So I feel like we could get kind of, I guess, a pretty good idea of what his motives are from looking at his mythology and the lore of Beelzebub. Now, let's start off with just, I guess, his description or for what he's known for. And in theological sources, predominantly Christian, Beelzebub is another name for Satan. He is known in demonology as one of the seven princes of hell. So we could see this seven princes of hell concept be introduced into Record of Ragnarok later on. But for now, I don't think we've actually, heard of this seven princes of hell in the actual series yet. But moving on, the Dictionnaire Infernal describes Beelzebub as being capable of flying, known as the Lord of the Flyers or the Lord of the Flies. Now, that could kind of give us an idea of what Beelzebub can do in a fight. Maybe once Beelzebub eventually has to fight in Ragnarok, we could see him, I guess, grow wings and maybe, I guess, kind of change the way we've seen traditional fights so far in Record of Ragnarok, and instead, I guess, you do an aerial battle, which would be pretty cool to see and kind of just, I guess, liven up the series and kind of give it a different, a different feel to it than how it normally is, because normally we see characters fighting on the floor either with brute strength or use tactical, ways to beat their opponents. But I feel like using, flight could actually add a different element to the series. But moving on, we also see that Beelzebub is a powerful demon who holds a high seat in Hell's hierarchy. He is known for spreading belief in false gods, fanning the flames of war or lust, and possessing human bodies to carry out horrific acts. Now, this is actually kind of a pretty accurate description of what Beelzebub does currently. I feel like once we get the backstory of Beelzebub, we could see him, kind of start to spread false information and just want to cause havoc and war. And we see that, this concept of possessing human bodies to carry out horrific acts, we see that he kind of possessed Zerafuku's body so he can awaken Ħajun. And since we know that Beelzebub is kind of, one of the princes of hell, and we know Ħajun comes from hell, I'm guessing Ħajun is kind of not really a pet, but I guess just a crazy berserker creature that Beelzebub decided to just possess Zerafuku with. And I guess this possessing human bodies is kind of, linking to what Beelzebub has literally done in the last round. But moving on, we see that also when talking about, the description of him, it says, "Don't be fooled by the insulting nicknames and impotent shapes used to describe Beelzebub. This is one of hell's most powerful demons." So this is kind of already confirming that Beelzebub is going to be very powerful in Ragnarok, and I feel like he's probably going to be one of the strongest fighters we've seen so far, but we'll just have to wait and see about that. But taking second place only to Satan himself. Now, this is kind of weird because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Satan and Hades are two separate beings. Maybe they're the same or just referred to as different things in different beliefs, but I'm pretty sure they're separate. But I'm pretty sure in the Record of Ragnarok series, it says that Hades is the ruler of Helheim, which is hell. So I don't know if Satan is even included in Ragnarok, or maybe Satan is Hades, but just, refresh my memory in the comments. But moving on, some theologians even claim that Beelzebub has usurped Satan and become prince of the devils and chief of hell. Others claim that Beelzebub and Satan are one of the same. And according to Judeo-Christian beliefs, Beelzebub began his demonic career as a false god. He used clever lies and earthly rewards to convince men to worship false gods, usually himself. For example, the Torah tells a story of an Israeli god who injured himself and ordered his servants to go ask Beelzebub if he would recover. In response, the prophet Elijah appeared to condemn the king, since he asked him for help from Beelzebub instead of one true god. According to God's wish, the king died from his injuries. So we see that Beelzebub, it's just in general, it's just someone that you just shouldn't trust. And I feel like this is kind of going to link to Odin and, you know, his kind of, I guess antics with Beelzebub. I'm pretty sure Odin and Beelzebub have, I guess, kind of made a deal that we aren't aware of yet. I'm pretty sure that will be revealed later on. But if they have made a deal, I feel like Odin will be betrayed by Beelzebub, because as we can see now, Beelzebub is not a trustworthy, I guess, quote unquote god to put your trust in. And I feel like Odin might end up being betrayed. I'm not too sure, because Odin himself seems like a pretty sus and meticulous god. I feel like Odin is not exactly trustworthy in his own rights. But moving on, if I was to give my honest opinions on what Beelzebub could be up to, I feel like Beelzebub's schemes could have something to do with completely ruining Ragnarok and completely just causing havoc. I feel like when it comes to causing havoc, Beelzebub is definitely up there as one of the people that I can see just, you know, turning the whole series on its head and completely changing, you know, how we view Record of Ragnarok up until now. I feel like once Beelzebub starts a fight, we'll definitely see a different, I guess, side to this whole series, because I feel like we could just end up having an all-in-all battle once Beelzebub starts to cause havoc, because we've seen what he's done with 𝗘𝗫𝗣𝗟𝗓, and if 𝗘𝗫𝗣𝗏 was to win against Buddha, I feel like 𝗘𝗫𝗏𝗏 would have just carried on rampaging and just started killing everyone. So again, I feel like, you know, Beelzebub is definitely something or someone we should be keeping a close eye on. But apart from that, that's pretty much it. I guess I just kind of wanted to go into a more mythological side of Beelzebub in this video. This video, as I said, isn't going to be very long, but I'll probably make another video to Beelzebub. I'm not too sure. Depends on how this video does. But apart from that, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And apart from that, I will see you in my next video.